By the time I graduate college, I will have paid close to $60,000 in just tuition alone to receive my diploma. There needs to be a change in college tuition. Not everybody can afford it, and we all want a better life, and everybody knows that getting a college education is the path to a better life. As a college student myself, I'll tell you why the cost of tuition should be lowered. First, I will review the cost of education in Nebraska. Next, I will move on to student debt. And finally, I will tell you why lowering education rates will be beneficial. First, let's check the cost of education in Nebraska. In-state versus out-of-state is huge. Per year at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, tuition is $6,216, whereas out-of-state is $16,236, according to College Stats 2012. The University of Nebraska-Omaha goes from $5,390 in-state tuition to $12,397 out-of-state tuition. And Chadron State goes up from $4,340 in-state to $7,723 out-of-state. Now, none of this is including room and board, and these are only a few examples of the many schools in Nebraska. According to a survey done in 2012 by Education Quest, the gap of tuition between universities, private colleges, and community colleges is humongous. As previously stated, the University of Nebraska-Lincoln costs close to $7,000 a year, not counting room and board, compared to Creighton University, which is a private college, at a whopping $29,544 a year, also not including room and board. Private colleges are typically more money, with Wesleyan University rolling in at $22,438 and Concordia University at $21,250. Now, we all know that community college is the least expensive route to take when it comes to college education. Central Community College costs around $2,310 a year, and Southeast Community College costs around $2,160 a year. As a college student myself at Bryan LGH College of Health Sciences, each credit hour costs $447. According to Bryan's website, tuition is around $11,400 a year. This is not to mention clinical fees, general fees, the money that we have to pay for our uniforms that we must wear to clinicals, and not just at Bryan, but with at all schools. This is not counting, if you don't live in a dorm, your rent fee for your apartment, if you live in an apartment, your grocery bill, and just your necessary things that you need to survive on that you have to buy and pay for. This is just strictly tuition that we're talking here. Next, let's talk about student debt. Student debt is one of the top and largest amounts of debt in America. According to the Institute for College Access and Success, the class of 2010 graduated with an average of $25,250 in debt and faced a 9.1% unemployment rate for recent college graduates. In a recent article in the Huffington Post written by Bonnie Kavausi, student debt has become a national crisis. Loan debt for students under the age of 30 shot up 148% since 2005 and is now at a record $902 billion nationally. Also in this article was that 34% of families took out a federal student loan, which is up 30% from 2011. Now, I know I myself had to take out student loans to afford college, and most people I know do, and it's just a giant issue that needs to be solved. So what's being done? In an article for the CBS News by Brian Montipoli, President Obama recently signed a bill that would prevent doubling of interest rates on new student loans. Now, this is a step for the better, but much more still needs to be done. Let's talk about how lowering college education would allow so many more people to go to college. Lowering tuition would allow so much more people to go to college and reap the many benefits that a college education provides you with, such as getting a college education helps to get a better job. Getting a better job helps to get more money. And at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, that's what everybody wants, is more money. According to an article written by Susan DeMoss in 2012, college grads make an average of $1 million more in their lifetime compared to somebody who did not graduate college. Although there are many benefits from college, not only just the money, a few are you have greater protection against unemployment. If you have a college education, you're less likely to be laid off. And even if you are laid off, chances are it's easier to find a job with a college education compared to not. And also, having a college education helps you feel comfortable and satisfied with your life. It helps you have a better health and happiness. You feel better about supporting your family, about supporting yourself, and just your value of life just goes up having a college education because you know that you have that to fall back on. These are just a few benefits. There are many, many, many more. Another reason why college tuition needs to be lowered is so that the underprivileged have a chance to better themselves. Now, we all know that not everybody gets to go to college. Some people are just born underprivileged. I know I myself, and probably many of you watching, are more than blessed with what you have, but there are some people in the world who are not as blessed as we are. I feel strongly about the underprivileged going to college, and it's not going to happen if college tuition is not lowered. Another way to help college tuition lower for each individual is scholarships. Now, scholarships are a huge part of college students' lives. Now, typically there's many that are offered at your school and communities. You can Google them on websites. There's national ones that are given out. You just have to search because there's so many of them, and it doesn't hurt anything at all to just apply for them. You know, the benefits outweigh the negatives so much when it comes to scholarships. In conclusion, college tuition should be lowered so that more people have the opportunity to get a higher education and better their life. We reviewed the cost of education in Nebraska, student debt, and why we should allow more people to go to college. So lastly, what can we do ourselves to help lower college costs? According to the Federal Student Aid's website, we should apply for as many scholarships as possible, as I previously stated. Another good idea would be starting at a community college. Get your generals done at a community college and then go on to, a more expensive school to get a more specialized degree. Another option is living at home. Just completely bypassing the cost of room and board or rent. It just saves a lot of money to live at home. Also on this website, it talks about how some schools, if you work for the school, they may strike a deal in exchange for room and board. Now, I don't know exactly what schools offer this program, but I'm sure if you ask and just dig a little deeper, this could be an option. Another great option is buying used books, buying used supplies, because, typically once you use the book and you're done with the class, you're never going to use that book again. So buying used is a really great alternative. And looking for discounts is huge. A lot of schools offer discounts for people who have multiple children in the school, siblings, or older people who are going to college. There's also discounts for them as well. Overall, college tuition should be lowered so that more people have the opportunity to go. And even the people who do have the opportunity to go with the rates as they are now have an opportunity to better their lives after college with not having such a great amount of debt. Thank you.